What's happening? I'm Ross. So today, the CEO of one of the largest shipping companies in the world, Maersk, said he warns of dark clouds on the horizon, and he's talking about I think what most of us know what's coming is a global recession in 2023. But typically, the shipping companies are seen as a forewarner of how the economy is doing. Right, the more goods that are moving around the world, the better the economy. The less goods, right, people are spending less money. So, without further ado, let's get into this article. Shipping giant Maersk warns of dark clouds on the horizons. That's the CNN Business by Julie Horitz. The spike in shipping rates since the onset of the pandemic has been a huge boom for Maersk, but the Danish shipping giant is warning its business will have to endure tough times soon. The company said Wednesday that a looming global recession is expected to reduce container demand by between 2 and 4% in 2022, with plenty of dark clouds on the horizon. So that's just for 2022. I wonder what they think shipping will be down in 2024 because we're already most of the way through 2022. So shares of Maersk, which are perceived as a barometer of the health of the economy due to the company's exposure to the movement of goods around the world, fell nearly 6%. The stock has dropped 35% so far this year. So the stock is getting battered, and it just fell 6%, recently as of this article, I guess, which is amazing because they had very good revenue this quarter. But knowing that the shipping is going to be less or going down, diminishing, people are selling the stock. People are selling all stocks right now. Actually, the whole market's down. So I don't know what 35% compared to the whole entire market is. While Maersk earned record profits last quarter due to substantially higher freight rates, it said that rates began to drop toward the end of the period due to the weakening customer demand, coupled with markets beginning to normalize with fewer supply chain disruptions and less congestion. So it's like I said, they had great profits this quarter, record profits this quarter, but that's because the freight rates were so high. And I think the freight rates were so high because there was so much demand, and also, there were supply chain issues, so which drives up cost or price of shipping goods. They started to drop towards the end of the period, so this is why they're looking at going forward. There being a recession because they're starting to see the weakening demand now already. CEO Soren School told CNN's Julia Chatterley, "This decline is clearly a sign the consumer is not spending as much as he or she has done in the last few years, and probably also a sign that many of our customers have too much inventory. Consumption in general," he added, "is weighed down by very, very negative sentiment. I'm not a macroeconomist, but I would be surprised if Europe is not in a recession by now," School said. He thinks the United States is likely to follow sometime next year. I think we're already there. I know the GDP numbers came out and they were pretty good, but there's so many indications that we're in a recession in America. Previous to this quarter, you had the 2 quarters of negative growth. So so this is an interesting article to me because I juxtaposed it with one that just came out not too long ago. It says simply staggering. FedEx hit with downgrades, price targets cut as warning shocks Wall Street. So FedEx came out. This is from September 16th. September 16th. Wow. So that was about 2 months ago, month and a half ago. So FedEx actually missed their earnings. They didn't have record profit like Maersk, but so the CEO was saying basically the same thing, that they're in for they see a weakening in demand and they expect a recession sometime in the near future, which again I think we're already in. FedEx stock slid 20% to $165 in pre-market hours after the company yanked guidance for the year, called for much lower quarterly profit and revenue, and warned of a tough 2023. The shipper blamed macroeconomic weakness in Asia and service challenges in Europe for a $500 million revenue shortfall in these regions. So, in contrast to the Maersk CEO, FedEx was on the ropes. They're already having issues, right? They didn't they didn't do well this last quarter, and obviously they're calling for a recession. I'm The CEO stated, "I'm very disappointed in the results that we just announced here. And the headline really is a macro situation that we're facing." CEO Raj Subramaniam said, adding the global economy is likely facing a recession, and comments to CNBC on the heels of a warning after the markets closed on Thursday. So it's just more evidence. It's coincidental or not coincidental to me that two of the largest shipping companies and the CEOs are saying that they see tough times ahead. So I think that's I'm going to take them at their word. It's forewarning. This isn't the only indication, but it sure is one that we're going into a global economy. Typically, I'm talking about the American economy, but there's softening demand around the world. So it looks like it's probably going to be a tough 2023 if you're listening to these CEOs and what their numbers portend. My name is Ross. If you made it this far, consider please giving me a thumbs up or even a subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps out immensely. Okay, appreciate it. Peace.